Accelerate their engines to 85% power. Carefully check their engine instruments and give Captain Bernacchi a thumbs up, indicating they're ready to go. With a signal from each of his wingmen, Captain Bernacchi will call for the selection of Afterburner, and the Blue Angel Diamond will initiate today's aerial demonstration. Accelerating to 150 miles per hour, he'll pull back on the stick, flying the formation into the air. Immediately after liftoff, Lieutenant Commander Benson will call for the landing gear and flaps to come up, and they'll perform the Diamond Burner Go, low transition on takeoff.
Updated winds are 12010. We own the airfield and the airspace. You're cleared for takeoff. Have a good one. Thanks, XO. Clear for takeoff. Solo's ready to rock and roll, boss. Boss, you're clear for takeoff. The wind is 12010. That's a left crosswind. Check your parking brake off. Check your trips in. Check your nose steering arm maneuver. Diamond burner go. Low transition. Right turnout. And stop. I'm gonna clear now. Let's go. Let's turn up.
Now, to your left, Captain Bernacchi calls, smoke on, off brakes now. Burners ready now, and the Blue Angel Diamond is rolling. As they pass before you, you will notice that the smoke is not visible while the engines are in afterburner. The smoke comes on as Captain Bernacchi calls for the deselection of Afterburner by the 4 Diamond pilots. To the right, Blue Angel number 5 is rolling. He'll complete the dirty roll on takeoff. To the left, Blue Angel number 6 is rolling. He'll execute a precise low transition and pull the nose up vertically at 5 times the force of gravity and exit the flight line inverted to the right. Blue Angel Diamond will momentarily be making its approach from the right. In relatively slow speed flight, they will give you the opportunity to get a close look at the precision flying that produces the 18-inch wingtip to canopy separation between these 4 aircraft. From the right, the Blue Angel Diamond. The sensation of weightlessness or ballistic flight, similar to that experienced by astronauts in space, will now be felt by the two solo pilots. Approaching center point, Commander Weiser and Lieutenant Davies will roll their aircraft to 90 degrees angle of bank and push forward on a stick as they perform the opposing knife edge pass. The Diamond is approaching for a maneuver that is likely familiar to those of you who have seen the Blue Angels perform in the past. From the right, at 400 miles per hour, the Diamond roll. All four aircraft flying as one in this graceful 360-degree rolling maneuver. The two solo pilots will next demonstrate the inverted flight capability of the F-18. Approaching inverted from the left and right, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees crossing center point. The opposing inverted to inverted rolls. To the left, the Diamond is setting up for their next maneuver. Approaching center point on Captain Bernacchi's command, all four pilots will simultaneously roll their aircraft 360 degrees as they perform the Diamond aileron roll. Here's Captain Bernacchi. Aircraft pilots and enthusiasts who appreciate the difficulties associated with carrier aviation will enjoy this next maneuver demonstrated by the two solo pilots. To the right, Commander Weiser and Lieutenant Davies will establish a mirror image formation, but look closely, for both aircraft are in the carrier landing configuration as they approach for a maneuver we call the Fortis. Pilots who must land their aircraft on the small and sometimes pitching deck of an aircraft carrier at sea, slow-speed flight is just as important as high-speed flight. In order to demonstrate the dirty slow-speed handling characteristics of the Boeing F-18, Captain Bernacchi has called for the extension of the landing gear and tailhooks as they perform the Diamond Dirty Roll. Commander Weiser is approaching to demonstrate the maximum performance turn radius of the F-18. He'll execute a 7.5G afterburning turn and exit the flight line vertically, showcasing the Hornet's slow-speed climb capability. As the four Diamond pilots approach once again, you should notice two significant modifications. While the wingmen, Lieutenant Cruz and Lieutenant Commander Scott, maintain minimum wingtip to canopy separation, the flight leader and slot pilot are both inverted. From the right, the Blue Angel double Farvel. From behind the spectator area, Blue Angels 5 and 6 are approaching the flight line at 400 miles per hour. Rolled their aircraft 270 degrees and crossed with minimum separation, observe as both pilots sustained 6 times the force of gravity to cross their aircraft over center point. Four Diamond pilots are now stacked down and aft on a 45-degree bearing line to establish a right echelon formation. From the right, at 365 miles per hour, the Blue Angel Echelon Parade. Setting up for their next maneuver, Blue Angels 5 and 6 are converging on center point to demonstrate the rapid roll rate of the F-18's fly-by-wire flight control system. Crossing center point, they'll complete 2 consecutive rolls, totaling 720 degrees, with a closure rate of over 800 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing horizontal rolls. front of the crowd to the left, Captain Bernacchi is called for another formation change, shifting his wingman to position on his left wing. From the left, at 400 miles per hour, the Blue Angel left echelon flat pass.
I wanna be that song that gets you high, makes you dance, makes you fall. That melody, rewinds years, won't disappear, makes time stall. Wanna be those words, fill you up, pull your windows down. It keeps you young, makes you believe you're right where you belong. Wanna be that song that always falling when the bottle's dry, when the sky is falling. You're asking yourself why.
As the Diamond exits the flight line, watch as Captain Bernacchi calls for another formation change. Now that Blue Angels 5 and 6 have your attention, you have seen firsthand the ability of a tactical aircraft at high speed to sneak into a target area virtually undetected. Lieutenant Davies will complete the maneuver with a series of vertical rolls, while Commander Weiser completes his rendezvous with the Diamond to the right. To the right, Commander Weiser has joined the Diamond in the line abreast formation. Still maintaining minimum separation, the four pilots must now align themselves by looking 90 degrees from their flight path toward Captain Bernacchi's aircraft. Approaching from the right at 350 miles per hour, the 5-plane line abreast flat pass.
In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, with the halo of age. I turn my collar to the cold and damp.
As they exit to the left, Captain Bernacchi calls for another formation change prior to detaching Blue Angel number 5.
Let's split the night and touch the sound of silence. I want something just like this.
You have seen several flight profiles of the F-18. The two solo pilots will next demonstrate precision roll rate control. Approaching center point, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees, pausing after each 90 degrees of rotation and crossing center point in the inverted position. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing 4-point hesitation rolls. As each aircraft accelerates to 500 miles per hour, they will perform a reversal torque back toward the flight line. You should be able to follow the individual smoke trails as all four pilots simultaneously converge on center point with maximum closure and minimum separation. To the right, the two solo pilots are making their approach to the flight line. Crossing center point, they will simultaneously roll their aircraft 420 degrees in section. Ladies and gentlemen, the double tuck over roll.
Up above, all the hate that you've heard has turned your spirit to a dove. Oh, oh, your spirit up above. Oh, oh. I was choking in the crowd, building my rain up in the cloud, falling like ashes to the ground, hoping my feelings they would drown, but they never did. Ever lived, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke up when it rained down. It rained down like.
In front of the crowd to the left, the Diamond is rolling out to demonstrate the awesome power of these General Electric F404 engines. Let's listen as Captain Bernacchi calls for the 4 Diamond pilots to simultaneously select full afterburner. As they pass over center point, you will hear and feel the thunder of 8 engines producing 128,000 pounds of thrust.
Kids were laughing in my classes while I was scheming for the masses. Who do you think you are? Dreaming about being a big star. They say you're basic, they say you're easy. You're always riding in the backseat. Now I'm smiling from the stage while you were clapping in the nosebleeds.
To the right, Commander Weiser and Lieutenant Davies are approaching to demonstrate the slow speed handling characteristics of the Hornet in the clean configuration. They'll pass before you, virtually standing Blue Angels 5 and 6 on their tails. At less than 120 miles per hour, the fly-by-wire flight controls provide slow speed handling that sets the Hornet apart in the air-to-air combat arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the Section High Alpha Pass. The Blue Angels, home-based in Pensacola, Florida, completed an intensive winter training period at Naval Air Facility El Centro, California. The beautiful weather of the Imperial Valley provided us with the optimum conditions to fly each of our demonstration pilots on the 120 training flights necessary prior to our first public demonstration. Our show season opened March 11th and runs through mid-November. The Blue Angels will be performing 66 flight demonstrations during this season while visiting 33 cities throughout the United States. The next portion of our demonstration will showcase all 6 aircraft in formation together. The Blue Angel Delta has been our signature 6-plane formation since 1958. In front of the crowd to the left, the 2 solos have joined the Diamond to form the Blue Angel Delta. From in front of the crowd to the left at 400 miles per hour, the Blue Angel maneuvering Delta. For a description of our maneuvers and an in-depth look at our team and individual biographies, please visit our website or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.